What's going on, everybody? By the way, I apologize, Ryan. Actually, in my haste to get that thing started and get Day to stop talking like that, I forgot to start the video. I apologize for that. I was in such a rush to get this wrong and get this over with. Hey,
Bummer.
everybody, what's going on? This is Scott, Ryan, Vivian, and welcoming back JT, and this is Tales from the Film Set. Kind of got off to a really weird start there, but, you know, if we ever got off to a normal start, that would be the weird thing.
Exactly.
Gentlemen, how the hell are you?
Tubular.
Gnarly.
I made a funny.
Okay, no. Day, no. All right.
No. Here, Day, I'll tell you what.
Technically, that is cultural appropriation. No.
Day, I can leave you on, but if you start doing that, I can mute you from over here. Just like that. All right. So anyway, we're going to be talking a lot in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because Seth Rogan has released the trailer for the next iteration of Ninja Turtles. Nickelodeon Kids is running this one. Nickelodeon's running this one. So coming from, I believe, perennial teenager is what the trailer said. So we'll be talking a little bit about this, the massively impressive cast list on that, and honestly taking your questions, throwing a few of our own in. But you know what, gentlemen? Let's roll. How the hell are you?
I'm excited.
As am I.
Are you asking about
But I
in
sound so
general
excited.
or just on the trailer?
What's that?
Like, are we asking how we are in general? Because in general, I'm...
Yes to both. Yes to
Okay, yeah. In general, I'm fine. Over the trailer, I'm freaking stoked! Oh my god, this looks good! Oh!
Sorry.
You know, I'm looking at the animation style on this thing is intriguing. By the way, in case you're wondering what this is called, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and having that ooze thing that they used to have like in the 80s and the 90s to kind of call it back a little bit there.
Yeah, it's got like a little bit of like the old school comic drawn from Eastman and Laird, mixed in with like that sort of like, 1980s graffiti aesthetic. In a sense.
Yeah, let me blow this picture out a little bit. You know, I'm really it's intriguing, this image here, because it seems to be a bit of a modern day art style with a little bit of a change up to it at the same time to keep it fresh. Again, basically the Ninja Turtles are the same basic style. You got Donatello, who basically is the nerdy one. Gee, this time he's wearing glasses. Raphael is basically, the badass of the group. It looks almost like in some cases, in this case, Michelangelo is the one that they kind of like pick on a little bit here, as evidenced by the watermelon, which apparently I think this was okay, the one scene then. But if you look at the four of them, like, this is a much better image in this case. You can kind of see, I don't even know how to describe the animation style, guys. It's almost like a painting in some ways.
No, you know what this is? It's Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Very much.
It's the exact same type of thing they did with the Spider-Verse, where they tried to incorporate like a more of an ink and paint sort of tone. And you've even seen it in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. They did a little bit of that in some of the scenes that they animated, where it's almost like moving art as opposed to animation.
Is this made by Sony? Because if I recall correctly, they tried to copyright that art style.
No, it's not Sony. It's strictly Nickelodeon.
It's Nickelodeon in this case.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so they've definitely taken the beat from Spider-Verse movie, which personally I think is a very smart idea. This way, I think with working with an IP of this age, and you're working to create something that's going to be for kids and adults, it's nice to have like things that touch on that nostalgia factor, and certainly something that harkens back more to the comic books. Which, mind you, were completely black and white back when they were first being done. It still gives like that gritty sort of shaded feel.
Now, we're all of a certain age that have watched Ninja Turtles through the years. Now, the last time I remember an animated series came out was 2007, which was after like the other shows and stuff started dying down. And if I recall correctly, I actually enjoyed that movie. It was a well done movie. But it did very poorly in the box office, got very little attention. This movie, it's being done by Seth Rogan. It is Seth Rogan, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's his animation group of people that did like Sausage Party and stuff.
Now, to be honest with you, this is really the first I heard about it. I like 3 days ago, I heard about it, and then like, oh, trailers coming out. Like, really? So I'm just curious. We're hyped about this, but is is the majority of the population hyped for this?
Who cares?
Curious more than hyped, I think.
Who cares? We care. That's all.
Well, I care because it depends. If I think the more popular it is, the better chance of getting more stuff like this. If not many people watch about it, this is going to be a one and done.
See, the thing with the Ninja Turtles that you probably can't say about many IPs that we've gotten over our lifetimes is that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has always been there from its initial inception back in the 80s up to at least 4 or 5 different iterations of television show, plus the live action movies, plus the computer generated movie, whether it be on Nickelodeon or Fox Kids or stuff you see on Netflix. There's always been some turtles that's been thrown at youth culture and nostalgia critics as ourselves who want to go ahead and live back those days when we collected the toys and we were all hyped and we played with the ooze and all that stuff. So I'd say there's a better chance with this than say other things that probably get like rebooted or updated for Gen Z.
But I just pointed out that this IP was one of the ones that Div had issues a few years ago.
Tova.
Hey.
So and it's not always there. The way that I think there's been now 4 different renditions of the TV series, 3 to 4 different renditions of the films.
Mm-hmm.
And how it kind of goes from what I've seen is it's very, very popular. Like in the 80s, 90s, it was red hot. That's when I was like 5 and I had all the toys, etc. And then by 97, it died down and it didn't start bulking up again until 2002 when Fox released their version.
Which is the best of the bunch, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that lasted for 5 years, around 2007 when the film came out. And again, no one really cared too much about the film at that point. The show had died down in popularity and then started going up again around 2010, 2011 when the Nickelodeon bought it and started doing the CG version. But it goes up and down, but I'm just saying, is this like the down period right now? Is this where people are kind of going, yeah, I want Ninja Turtles, or should we wait a few more years because we're still getting off those crappy Michael Bay films and stuff?
I don't think so, because I think the newest Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that Nickelodeon has,
well, that's already done.
And just recently last year had a feature-length film within that series put onto Netflix. That has had the resurgence for Gen Z that they wanted to get. They've put Turtles into that newest generation. And as far as like any other fandoms, they've done stuff with the crossovers, like you see with like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover with Batman that they did, that movie.
That was great.
The Last Ronin has been a big thing for older Turtle fans. It's showing like the grittier side, the elderly turtles doing their like last call and everything. So they've really been able to hit a lot of demographics at once within the span of a couple of years, especially during the pandemic, when all you have to do is sit and watch. So I think now is probably the proper time to strike with something that, for lack of a better term, this is going to be a turtle that's going to be directed towards a younger group, considering they're not just rehashing the old, oh, there's Splinter, oh, there's Shredder, oh, there's the Foot Clan sort of thing. They're going in a direction that I have wanted to see the Turtles go into movie form for quite some time, and that is mutants. We're getting mutants, not Toka, not Razor, not Super Shredder. We're getting some real live mutants. Characters that were actually marketed during the original toy line that we've always heard about but rarely ever seen, except maybe once or twice in animation form. And we're finally going to get like a real fleshed out versions of some of these more fan favorites.
Besides Rocksteady, who else are we getting?
Bebop's Rocksteady.
We're getting Bebop. We're getting Rocksteady. We're getting Mondo Gecko, which I always loved. Mondo Gecko. We're getting Ray Fillet. We're getting Wingnut, possibly with a screw loose as well too. Leatherhead, who was actually getting a gender swap by the look of it.
Why are they jamming so many characters into one movie?
Because it's Mutant Mayhem.
Because this is how the industry is now. It's all about, hey, there's the thing. Hey, there's the thing. Hey, there's the thing. I mean,
I'm hoping this is going to have a good plot.
Anything,
well, I imagine it's going to have a decent plot, only because, like I said, they're steering away from the same thing they've always kind of done with a lot of the shows and movies, which is introduce the Shredder, introduce the Foot Clan, have ninja on ninja action.
Well, even Rise, I don't think did that. Rise actually introduced a whole new villain.
Exactly. Which is why they're trying to go ahead and expand upon the normal formula.
But see, what
I think the only thing that they're trying to stick with as originally, aside from Shredder and the Foot and Karai and all that stuff that we've gotten in later iterations, they're still bringing in the Utrom, which I think this one's going to be voiced by Maya Rudolph, whom we loved during her M&M commercial. And and she's going to be playing a character. I think her name was Vanessa Utrom, if I was getting that right. Or Cynthia Utrom. Sorry, Cynthia Utrom. Which, forget the Cynthia part. It's just an Utrom. Yeah. Which, for those of you who know anything about the lore, the Utrom is what led to the Krang. It's kind of like all Krang are Utrom, but not all Utrom are Krang, sort of thing. I think so. Whether or not this is going to be that version of Krang, or it's just simply going to do something to introduce the alien race, because it was that race that created the ooze that helped create the mutants. So this is where it's really going to all come from. Instead of worrying about all the Ninja Clan stuff, ooze is probably going to get seeped out. A lot of mutants are going to get made, and it's going to be hectic, and it's going to be fun to actually doing these almost toy clashes like you used to do when you were a kid, just like bashing them together because they was with the characters. Now you get to see it in real life. Well, real life. Sorry, I'm a little hyped for this, man. It's like I'm getting into voice cast yet, but man,
this is going to be the easiest show I've ever been a part of. I'm never going to have
to. Right now, you're a little bit too hyped about this. You got to comment down a little bit, because right now you're a little bit too excited about this. It's one of those things where actually when you start to watch this thing, you're really, really excited. You're going to basically watch this movie 10, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Be at six tickets to jail.
No. I'm going to say it like this.
He is hyped and deservedly so.
Yeah.
But here's my thought process with this. This is not meant to be a one and done standalone. I think the reason they're shoehorning in so many is if this does well, then you can have your TMNT CU. And you can spin off a Leatherhead, a Rat King, an Ooptron, side story. This is meant to be opening up. This is meant to be advertising the future stuff. Because that's what movies are right now. They're not so much about the movie itself and the entertainment. It's about hawking and advertising the next product for the next money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the MCU is doing so hardcore right now, that it's so much less about the movie experience and more about setting up something to make future dollars. That's where I think they're shoehorning in a lot of this here. Because if you look at it for 1 second, let me take the captions off. If you look at the time frame for this, since 2018, we have had 4 different, Ninja Turtle iterations in some facet or form in the last 5 years. That's a lot, dude. And then basically you got 5 and 7 years if you include the second Michael Bay movie. So there's a lot of turtles to be had there. And I'm not as confident, I don't think, as maybe some of you are, that this is going to do that well, on the grounds of the fact that we've had this so many times at this point, that this is just yet another one in an era where there's so much other stuff. Go ahead.
I kind of agree.
I'm going to say this. This is pretty much just going to be a prequel. And this is what it looks like for a prequel to, let's look at the timeline real quick.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, yeah, there you go.
So what I'm seeing with this film is going to be a prequel to the 2022 version of Nickelodeon's adaptation of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's a prequel, okay.
Because if we really paid attention to the voice actors in this movie, they're kids.
Yes.
So it's more. They're not teenagers yet.
No, that's teenagers. That's young teenagers. That's like 13, 14.
Let me finish. I'm not done yet.
All right. Fine.
Shoot. So they could be considered preteens about to enter into teenager years. So don't look down. Don't look down. Hear me out, because this is our prequel into the life story, how they met April O'Neil. And then it gradually goes into the teenage years of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because of the whole ooze situation. if you really paid attention to the trailer.
But
see, I never saw
always
2022 one, so
eventually
I don't know.
introduced to April at the beginning. So being
Yeah,
introduced
but
to
with
April
this
is nothing.
one, they becomes a little bit more. Oh, because I'm sorry, because when I heard Donatello's voice, and he's being played by the kid in the blue and white hat.
Yeah, the one from the Chai.
Yo, he is hilarious. I ain't gonna lie.
No. You said the blue. Okay, no, it was the one from the bottom that's in the Chai. He's the one. He was a Disney kid, I remember.
Yeah, but he had me rolling, especially with the shuriken, the trailer with the stick on his leg. And he screamed. It threw me off. I'm sorry. I'm going to throw this off because this was a South Park reference when I saw that scene. And picture Butters getting hit with a shuriken. I just flat out laughed throughout the whole entire time seeing that scene, that one scene, because it just brought back South Park vibes from that Butters episode.
We just talked about that last week too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Funny enough, I see that scene. I think Ace Ventura when nature calls, when the spear goes into the leg. But I see what you're saying with that, yes.
Yeah, so it's like, if they do this right, this could be a hit, a real hit. In the direction that they're doing it is a smart decision. You just got preteens playing the Turtles, which was a risky move, but we'll see how it goes because so far by looking at the trailer, I am entertained.
Now, see, I think that's a very brilliant move on their part because when you look at the Turtles, regardless of the name that they have been given for all these years, how many times can you actually say that the Turtles acted like teenagers, let alone New York teenagers? Think about it.
Well, they are antisocial with the public. That fits in New York pretty well.
That's Ninja, all right? That's different.
No, that's New York being New York.
Yeah.
No, this is a very smart move, I think, on the casting of the Turtles themselves, because this is the first time that they actually are going to feel like teenage kids living in New York City, just, with the availabilities that they have. And I think that's really taking in place with, like, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Even that was probably a more younger-oriented cast as far as the characterizations they had. And even them, I would say, but Donatello wanting to make an entire, company brand and stuff like that. They didn't really act like teenagers. These four, from what I've just seen in the trailer, feel like teenagers doing stupid stuff.
I can see that.
Recording on the phone on the rooftops. And, ultimately their initial reactions to like fighting and pain and stuff like that, it makes a really good feel that these are going to be a completely different iteration than what we've gotten in the past, and probably in the right direction.
Right.
I mean, especially, I'm very happy to say, two of the actors, Nicholas Cantu, the voice of Gumball from The Amazing World of Gumball, playing Leonardo. That would be the kid up at the top there. And then Brady Noon playing Raphael, who I've enjoyed watching on the Mighty Ducks Game Changers show on Disney Plus. So I'm happy to see those two working and given something of akin to when the kids were cast for the reboot of It and how those names really got. I've got the same feel for this. It's like I want to see all four of these kids go on and become something, make this their franchise, make this their real jumping point.
Right.
And can we get to the voice cast? Because oh my God.
Yeah, you haven't mentioned basically a very important person in all of this.
Which one?
I'm very, very sad by these. He's already on screen.
Oh, Jackie Chan as Master Splinter?
Sir. Hell yes.
That is some inspired casting.
Jackie Chan making his triumphant return as a voice actor.
Since Kung Fu Panda, yes.
Right. The last time they had anything close like that, it reminded me of when they got Mako to voice Splinter.
God bless
and
you,
I think that was in the TMNT CGI animated movie.
That was right before he died too.
Yeah, exactly.
because he died in 06.
Yeah, no, that was some great casting there too, because you really got like a feel that, you know, it wasn't just like Cam Clark or somebody else that was like going ahead and trying to do an accent.
Right.
Well, you had Tony Shalhoub was the voice of Splinter, I think, in one of them, wasn't he?
I'd have to do my research here.
Yeah.
You're throwing out questions I wasn't prepared for.
All right, fine.
Although the rest of it is like, okay, yeah, Star Trek.
You seem so over-prepared on everything else.
Like,
I know.
Turtles, I
He's running it so well here.
Like, I don't even know what to say anymore. It's like, when do I get to go in?
Quiet since, coming back here. I gotta tell you, man.
Because I can't. There's not a moment for me to jump in.
Sorry. It's like, look, when Scott was asking for ideas about what to talk about today, he wanted to just go out and throw out a Jeopardy. Then the trailer came out, and I was like, no, we're doing this. We're doing this.
We're doing it live.
I got yes. We're doing it live. We're doing it right now.
Okay, right.
Now John Cena is in this, this is the second Ninja Turtle character he's playing. He actually played the original villain in The Rise of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
Jack Chan, obviously Splinter. I don't know who anyone else is playing.
Oh, got it. Got the list.
Is Ice Cube Baxter Stockman?
No.
No. He's playing a character called Superfly, which I think is more of an original creation for this movie.
Yeah.
Wait, who's playing Superfly?
Ice Cube.
I don't know, because I think Jamie Foxx was the last Baxter, right?
No. So what happened? Was he supposed to play Baxter, and Ice-T was like, nah?
Well, no. There is a Baxter Stockman in the movie. He's being voiced by Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, so Superfly is apparently going to be a whole different character, and now whether or not Baxter Stockman becomes the Fly version that we know from the animated series, I don't know.
We don't know.
But obviously, he'll have his part to play in the creation of a lot of the other mutants that are going to be in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mausers and that stuff as well.
For the TMNT CU.
Yeah, no, there might definitely be some Mausers too, just to like try to rein in all these creatures.
Here's a question, Ryan. I'm curious about this. This is obviously through Nickelodeon, so it's going to be a little more kid-friendly. Seth Rogan, when you think of basically Seth Rogan doing a TMNT, do you think kid-friendly with a guy like that?
No.
I don't think I can think of anything he's done that's kid-friendly.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sure there's something out there, but and that's not kid-friendly.
Dude, what else you got?
Wait, what? Repeat that again?
Super bad.
That wasn't kid-friendly.
No, I know, but I don't think he's done anything that really ever was.
No, the last animation he did wasn't kid-friendly.
No.
Sausage Fest.
Well, no.
No, not Sausage Fest.
No,
he did the Christmas one.
What Christmas one?
There's a streaming service one like a year or two ago where some Christmas one at an elf.
Yeah, we talked about it. It was on. It was on.
We talked about it. Remember the show on HBO Max that got like the terrible reviews on YouTube?
Yes, and people were like, HBO Max can never come out with anything else that bad. And then it's like Velma's like, here, hold my ear. But no, I mean, I guess my question in this case, if he's doing something kid friendly, this is either like a massive passion project where he's just hardcore into TMNT, or maybe I almost wonder if he's doing that softening thing that Eddie Murphy did, where he's trying to change the image a little bit.
I want to say this is probably more passion project just because, like, I almost hate to think about this, but Seth Rogan is as old as I am. He was born in 82. So he's right up there with like the 40-year-olds now. And so for him to go ahead and do something like this, whether it's for his kids, if he has any, or whether it's just he's seen what has come out from other people, i.e. Michael Bay, and has not been a fan, and he's trying to make something that seems a little bit more true to the characters and what they could stand for. And
right.
Hey, don't diss Michael Bay, okay?
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I want to believe.
Wait. What, Scott?
I got here's what lie are you perpetrating here?
I'm not perpetrating anything, but that fat dumpy looking dude back there, in Ninja Turtles 2 by Michael Bay is actually in fact myself. So.
You were in. Oh,
That was you?
Okay,
That was
okay, I could see it.
Yeah, I was the fat dumpy one back there.
Well,
I wasn't
I'm
saying
sorry.
it because of that. I was saying it because, again, your unique complexion.
Whoa, boy! Do you ever think about running for politics?
Wrong
Yes, I'm going up
person.
against
Wrong person.
A very unique
Wrong
look about you.
person.
You know, you're clearly beaten with an ugly stick, but you know you have a very unique feature about it. But no, I mean, well,
Take your pale, Scott.
my official term that they call me in the industry is downscale. So when they need like a frumpy looking cop, they usually call me for stuff like that. So enter frumpy looking cop on the left side. But thank you, Michael Bay, for like the $500 you paid me that day for that long ass day. So anyway, yeah, what was I looking
and
at?
Taking $14 from me that I'll never get back.
I took $14 from you?
No, the movie did.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry about. Well, listen, back then, movie tickets were only $14, and it didn't matter where you sat. Now they charge extra if you want to actually see the movie well.
Well, unlike the rest of you, I go to premieres.
Yes, you do.
Hey,
actually, no. I'm sorry, Day. You got to do this right here. You got to do this right. You got to be like, I go to premieres.
Oh, you want me to do it that way?
Yeah, thumb the nose a little bit there. You know. Yes.
Okay, like I said, I don't have to pay because I go to premieres.
What is that glorious scent? Oh wait, I just farted.
You elitist cuck.
But that's okay, Ryan, because guess what? Guess what, Ryan? Ryan?
What? He's not going to respond.
Yeah.
What?
I'm going to see if you can come to this premiere.
Yeah.
Ah!
If they happen to have one in New York right as opposed to LA, I would certainly try to do that. I think it would be fitting.
If I do find out about it, you'll be my +2.
All right.
Aww.
Just let me know which turtle to dress up as, and I'll be there.
No. Bad
anyway,
enough, I gotta go.
Anyway, this voice cast. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, I'm just wondering in this case, you know,
it's kind of weird. Like more of the side characters have the famous voice actors, but the main turtles are relatively unknowns. Well, you're saying like one of them was the voice of Gumball, and
at least one of the four has like a long, extensive voiceover background. Nicholas Cantrew, the one in the upper left corner there.
But you know, their voices are still changing, so I'm not overly into this. Especially, I'll be honest, when Donatello talked during the trailer, it really threw me off for a second. I'm like, is Donatello a girl in this one? Like, it's like such a high voice.
They haven't had a female turtle since Venus.
Yeah, they didn't.
Well, no.
In the comics they do.
Yeah,
I never remember her name, but
Venus de Milo was the one. Remember, it was Turtle's Next Mutation from the late 90s.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the Next Mutation,
which failed. It failed immensely. It was hilarious at that.
It was
but then there was also Mona Lisa from the original animated series, who was like the love interest for Raphael, I think.
Really, I don't remember that. And the original like 80s one, because I grew up on that one.
Yes. Wow. Don't question me on Turtles.
No, I believe you on that. You know.
And I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but Janika in the comics has been a very, very popular character the last few years.
Okay, yes.
But it was a human who mutated into a Ninja Turtle and just never mutated back.
Yeah, the old Bebop Rocksteady type of mutation instead.
Yep.
Yeah, mutation's always been funny like that. It's either you're a human who becomes the animal that you're most had interaction with, or you're an animal who becomes human-like. Like, take your pick.
I have a question.
Yes.
Now, with Master Splinter, was he part of that ooze experiment, or he just happens to be
Depends on the version. So in the comics and the majority of the versions, the character was a rat that mutated to humanoid. In the first cartoon from '87, it was a human who mutated into a humanoid rat.
He's a radical rat.
Yeah, either Splinter was always Splinter, or Splinter was Hamato Yoshi.
But he was only in the unless you can think of another one. I think it was only the 87 animated series.
Most iterations, he was a rat first. And
Yes.
he was a rat always, really.
Right.
So. Right, but I think that's just because they were trying to like make something that was a little bit less from the whole Aruku Saki, Hamato Yoshi, background storyline with like.
Well, they couldn't kill people in the original cartoon. That was part of the thing too.
I got a trivia question. And yes. Ryan, don't answer this. I'm going to open it up to you if the other two don't get it right.
All right.
What universe is technically TMNT in, kind of?
I mean, there's multiple universe. Oh, Marvel.
The first movie.
Marvel.
Yes. Why?
Because the person who dropped all the turtles was supposed to be Matt Murdock.
The ooze that basically got in his eyes, they landed on the turtles themselves, was the ooze that actually caused Matt Murdock to go blind. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So it's Marvel. The Marvel.
I mean, it was more
Marvel-ish. Really. It's like unofficially Marvel.
It was more of an homage, really.
So they're not in the actual Marvel universe, but they were trying to hint they were part of the Marvel universe because that's when Daredevil was at the height of his popularity, around 83 out of 84.
Yeah.
But technically now they're in the DC universe because they interact with Batman.
Oh, Batman. Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. Like, if you look at the original comic books that Eastman and Laird put out, it was very tongue-in-cheek to Daredevil comics and things of like the grittier Marvel nature. So that's why there was a lot of like Daredevil inspiration.
But it was one where Donatello got his arm chopped off.
Yeah, it was supposed to be satire, actually, to
it was.
Daredevil. And then it somehow became an actual popular thing and mainstream.
Yeah, no, it's taken off on its own for like, 40 some odd years now.
Yeah.
And the majority of our parents have been going, why am I buying something called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? What is this?
Look, at least it's not one of the rip-off characters that everyone tried to make their own Turtles version back in the day.
Super Teen Aqua amphibians.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
I don't know. If you ever go to a flea market and they would sell the Ninja Turtle toys, but they weren't licensed Ninja Turtle toys, so they always had some weird name like super amphibious mutant androids or something like that, but it'd be like Michelangelo where something was mildly changed. Yeah.
Oh,
Here's the World Fighter.
Oh, the bootleg of all bootlegs.
Ninja.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh, I'm so happy right now.
What did you find?
New style Ninja Tortoise.
New style Ninja Tortoise.
Just have a giant tortoise logo on their chest.
I'm dead.
And a non-copyright S.
I'm dead. Put me on.
Looking like a poor man's He-Man character.
Dude, really? I mean,
Put me on. Fighting action.
Now, see, that
one
just
is a direct ripoff.
An actual Turtles figure.
Yeah, they just removed like the belt and stuff from it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looks like the actual one, yeah.
Although I would have preferred that weapons pack because that's all 4-in-1. That's awesome.
What?
Halloween
coming. Frog of Silent War. Jesus Christ.
Oh God, I love this show so much.
By our
you don't even get a mask. You just get like the suit.
Non-copyrighted material.
Get the bandana. You look just like a Chad.
I'm a dad.
Chad Turtle.
Wait.
Best in Frog of War.
Wait, you want to know what's missing right there?
What's that?
Hi.
Yeah, they CGI this on my green screen neck. Yeah, these are not my actual biceps or triceps here. But,
walking around like, hey son, how you doing? I'm gonna come to school today like this.
well, if you know, there's a whole.
What does this R mean? It stands for respect.
Exactly. No. Righteous. So. But, yeah. If you ever get the chance, actually, there's a massive list of like the knockoff Halloween costumes across the board, which you know what they are, but they can't legally call it that.
Yeah,
and the names are just like this one, but they've got Stranger Things, they've got Batman, they've got MCU stuff. They have so many, and the names are honestly just brilliant. Like it was an L costume, from Stranger Things. It was like called Unusual Events, and all it was just like a tutu, or just like a PJs.
I remember one of my first jobs was at a Halloween store back in 2002. It was around the time where Eminem was incredibly popular, and people would come to the store and like, my kid wants to be Eminem for Halloween. What should I give him? I'm like, here's a Robin costume. just put an E there.
Yeah, because it was the one video from back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
You know what to me?
Man, Without Me. That's it.
Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, so we can get Pubescent Frog of Silent Moor if you really want that.
Lord Jesus Christ!
All right, do we have anything else to say about Ninja Turtles?
Well, do we want to get to the rest of the voice actors and characters here?
Yes.
Well,
right. So yeah, we did say Seth Rogan and John Cena would be Bebop and Rocksteady, which will be interesting to have them without there being a Foot Clan or a Shredder.
Right.
So it'll be nice to see how they go ahead and go about that. Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko, I love that idea.
Yeah, I had a Mondo Gecko back in the day too.
You don't mind me saying it? Y'all don't want me to say it, do y'all?
What?
You got to say it now.
He looked like a gecko.
Who does?
Ant-Man.
Really?
With the picture I got, he looks like a gecko.
Okay.
He does kind of look like a lizard a little bit, yeah.
I don't got anything here.
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
Ice Cube looks like that guy from the movie Friday, if you ever saw him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, but Mondo Gecko, because here's the thing that...
Wait.
Maybe the one gripe I always had with Turtles.
I gotta correct myself earlier. Did I say... I think I said Ice-T. I meant Ice Cube.
You did say Ice-T, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah, but we said Ice Cube.
All right.
I wasn't paying attention.
That's good.
But, okay, here's the one thing I've always had against the Turtles. You station them in New York City. They've been born and raised here. Why? I know it was because it was like the late 80s, early 90s that they got the animated versions, but why were they always given like this kind of a California surfer dude aesthetic?
Who?
Why were they not just made up like some, a little bit more New Yorker-ish? I think Raphael was probably the only one that really had like any kind of like New Yorker vibe, and that was because he was the rude one. Meanwhile, we got Michelangelo doing like, yeah, dude. All right. No.
Like he's from California.
Hey.
You're taking a line here.
Hey.
What?
I'm offended.
Why?
Why are you triggered?
Because y'all get to say the cowabunga and stuff, and I can't.
No, because you used up your
cowabungas it's okay if we
went
it.
live.
Fine, you can say it's a shell of a time. Or boom shaka. I think wasn't there a shakalaka in one of them?
No. Shell, yeah, there was.
Shell, yeah. Well, that was the early 2000s one.
Or shell shock.
Ooh, shell shock.
If you want to feel a little shell shocked, you're entitled to, sure. But the fact that they always kept up like this whole California surfer aesthetic with like the tubular and the cowabungas and everything, it's like, I don't know if that was really something that needed to be done, simply because there was so much that, you could have put into these characters, which I think they're doing with this version, where it really feels like New Yorker. This really feels like some NYC, old school hood rat sort of ish, and that's what I want to see from a character that has this background. No?
You're saying this wouldn't work necessarily in, like, say, Wisconsin.
I mean,
Omaha.
they like pizza, so I mean, cheese works, but
yes. By the way, if you ever watch the CinemaSins video on the Michael Bay ones, they're in New York City. They eat pizza pretty much exclusively, and they're getting it from like Domino's or like Papa John's. No New Yorker in their right mind would ever eat at a place like that, ever.
Exactly.
Unless they were being sponsored in some way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
and I say, like,
places that are so much better in New York City.
For all of us who have lived in this area just about our entire lives and have visited New York on multiple occasions, can you even remember a time you've seen a Pizza Hut, Domino's,
No.
Papa John's, etc., anywhere in New York City?
No, because they get swallowed up, because only a tourist would actually consider eating a place like that, but they would only eat there if they didn't actually know any other pizza places existed.
Right.
New York City has the greatest pizza in the country. New Jersey has the best pizza by state, by the way. I don't want to point that one out. But New York City pizza is just phenomenal. And yeah, you don't go Papa John's, you don't go Domino's, or anything like that, unless they want to sponsor us, in which case, have some pizza from the fine people at Domino's and Papa John's.
It's even funnier considering the fact that it was always Pizza Hut that kind of sponsored Ninja Turtles back in the day.
Yeah.
Even though it was Domino's that was in the first live action movie.
Right.
Oh, that's true.
Pizza dudes got 30 seconds.
Wise men say don't pay full price for pizza.
In one of the TMNT games, wasn't it Pizza Hut that was a sponsor? Ninja Turtles, like two for the NES, I thought had like actual like tie-in with Pizza Hut.
I mean, it's possible. I know they had the Pizza Hut marketing, but it was Domino's that was put in the movie. So it's like they just covered both branches. At that time, there was no Papa John's, there was no Little Caesars. So you got both pizza brands working for your movie. That's smart. I'll give them that. Yeah, and now I'm going to want pizza later now after all this whole conversation.
Pizza time.
Yeah, see, I was right on that.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Pizza Hut.
And that is the official logo, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it's not a red hat, so I don't know. But no, close enough.
Pizza time.
Clear product placement there. So.
I'm sorry if I keep saying pizza time. That is actually something I say in real life randomly. And now I see it and I keep going pizza time.
There.
Pizza time.
Oh my God. What?
Hey, just say what you want to say.
I can't.
Why is it our most popular pizza?
Oh my God.
Oh, maybe the little popper thingies on the side?
Yeah, because you're popping them off and popping them in your mouth.
It actually looks more like he's holding a shield there.
That or just a really big guard for a katana.
Yeah.
Probably too big.
Best Ninja Turtles episode ever. Same as it never was.
Yes.
That was...
from the early 2000s version.
I was so unprepared for that. Everybody who watched that episode was completely unprepared.
I never saw that episode.
Best episode of Ninja Turtles in any form or iteration. Donatello's short version gets sent 35 years into the future. They can't find him, and they lose to the Shredder. And he enslaves the world. So you can see right there in the middle, Michelangelo was missing an arm.
Wow.
And it was an amazingly emotionally strong story. And I've talked to kids who grew up and actually watched the series week after week. They had no idea. There was no different intro to this episode. There was nothing like that. So when you watched it for the first time, like I did a few years ago, I was blown away by just how powerful this episode was. And it's not a dream. It is a real storyline. It is a real
that was the Fox Kids version for you.
Yeah, I know, dude. And then it went back to, hey, dudes, let's have some pizza. Right after that, like the week afterwards. But no, it's actually part of the multiverse, and it shows up in the TMNT movie from like 2009 as an alternate timeline.
So this is Donatello. This is Raphael. This is Michelangelo.
No. It's Leonardo is on the left.
No, Leonardo's
got the glasses. Michelangelo's missing the... I'm colorblind, so I'm taking guesses here.
Wait, hold on.
Leonardo is the one that looks like the Matrix. Michelangelo is the one that's missing the arm. Raphael is the thicker one that looks like he's missing an eye.
Yes, he is actually missing an eye. And if you look at they all have like physical, actual scars on them too. Because in this case, Shredder wins and he enslaves the entire planet and makes them work 18 hours a day as slave labor. They lost. Casey Jones died. Splinter died. And it was just this very, very morbid setup that Donatello ends up bouncing 35 years into the future and finds out that in a lot of ways he is the cause of this entire timeline. And like I said, it is not a dream. It's an actual timeline.
I gotta say, I actually did watch this back in the day when I was like 18 years old. I grew up on the original series and I liked the original series, but this one is probably my favorite Ninja Turtle series.
It was a better series, yeah.
Yeah.
It felt as gritty as the 90s movies did.
Maybe more so.
I could see that, yeah. The Fox Kids version was really like the first time they introduced a lot of new characters and aspects that weren't present.
Well, so, just to point it out, like Baxter Stockman, instead of being turned into a fly,
yes,
every time he failed within an episode, the next time he showed up, he was missing a limb or an eye or something. He was always injured more and more until he was I think in his last thing, he was just a head.
Yes. And then basically in this timeline also, he was permanently attached to someone. They actually genetically attached the two of them together. Just to really, really, screw them up.
Well, plus this is also where they introduced a lot of like the multiversal ideas, the otherworldly shogunates with the interdimensional beings. This is where the Utrom come from, as opposed to just worrying about the Krang. We find out that Shredder is an Utrom. I'm like, that blew me away.
Yeah.
So this was the first one that really took a lot of creative license.
Yeah.
And I think every version of Turtles since has always taken what came before and just like made small modifications. Didn't reinvent the wheel, but just took what came before and like altered it or picked pieces from this and that and tried to add into it. Personally, my favorite version is that early 2010s version that Nickelodeon first came up with. The one that had like Seth Green voicing on it. Yeah, the one where you see Donatello right underneath the other Donatello right there.
Yes.
That's my favorite version because that was a version that really like went back to being, okay, well, this is going to be for kids. But it also tackled a lot more heavier subject matter and brought in a lot of nostalgia and added a lot of characters. I think this is probably why Nickelodeon is going the way they are with the movie. With the adding of the character, because they've seen it work where they've been able to introduce these things that started off as just like, oh, hey, let's make a toy and use this animal for the character. And this was the show that actually brought them to life, first and foremost, after so many decades, or probably for the first time. So this is hitting my nostalgia button like intensely crazy.
Now, which one is the 2011 one next to that? I don't remember that one.
I think it was a short idea they had made before they went with the CG version.
Right. Okay.
Like actually, it was only
I thought that was the rebirth in the comic books.
Maybe concept
was it?
That was
maybe.
Yeah.
You might be right.
I think that's when. Isn't that when they started discussing ideas of like killing off one of the turtles or something? Like they killed off Donatello in the comics.
Yeah.
I don't think that. Did they actually kill him off? I think they just really badly injured him.
Oh, they killed him. They first made it seem like they killed him off, and then they found out later he was alive.
Yeah, they shattered his shell, but he lived.
Yeah. Always Donatello, man. It's like Donatello gets like the short end of the stick. Oh my god, I made it funny.
Run!
And I kind of liked Rise, but I couldn't get into it like I have in others. But I like the animation style of that one.
Oh yeah,
except the fact that April O'Neil owned the turtle as a child.
One thing you can always say:
where Zelda Williams turns out to be Casey Jones.
Yes, like their fights in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There has never been a version where they have ever been shoddy on like the actual fighting choreography. I think this is what got kids into martial arts. Forget anything that you know about with Karate Kid or Power Rangers. This was what got kids into martial arts in the very beginning.
Ninjas are cool.
I would say not martial arts fully. I would think more weapons.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtle stuff, because I think it was more Power Rangers that got them probably more into karate. Yeah.
I think Power Rangers came like late enough that it was like it wasn't so much about like the martial arts per se. It was just like, ooh, look at I want a robot, you know? I want my own Zord.
But this also doesn't include the games either, the Konami games either on that. So.
Oh yeah, no, Turtles in Time, still a classic. And actually, they just did a reboot or a reimagining of the original arcade game. They put it out last year, didn't they?
Booyah!
Oh, okay, look at Day having it. All right, put that up on screen. So the Cowabunga Collection, yes, that was all the original games.
Yeah.
Of course, you have it.
I always remember as a kid, like my cousin, I was like the annoying little kid he didn't want to hang out with. But you get certain video games, if you like, this is a 2-player game, I need someone. I remember
this is my moment to shine.
I remember Turtles Tournament. That's the first time I got to play that game because he's like, I need someone to fight in this game. You pick a character.
Wow,
who did you pick?
Wow,
I don't even remember now. I definitely got destroyed. But...
I was going to say, did you pick like Foot Soldier?
Well, it's one of those games as a kid. I thought this is amazing, and now I'm looking back at it now. It's like this was not a great fighting game.
No,
no, but it was a fighting game.
A lot of
the
them were
in it, so that's all people wanted.
A lot of fighting games really aren't that great when you strip away the nostalgia feel to it.
Right.
Yeah. I liked Justice League. If you ever played that as a,
that was
not to get off topic, but yeah, that was an awful game.
Well,
this show get off topic? Never.
DC versus Mortal Kombat, heroic brutality, because you can't have fatalities for like superheroes.
And then Injustice came out.
Yeah.
Which had the Ninja Turtles. There's another one where they showed up.
Yeah, no.
Street Fighter 6 will have DLC content for Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, no.
You got to put them actual Mortal Kombat so you can see fatalities on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now you can really kill Donatello.
No!
That's not cool. Gentlemen, anything else?
I know y'all not tired.
I'm fucking exhausted.
I mean, there's still so many characters we didn't even touch on yet.
Oh, good Lord.
I mean, we didn't get into Post Malone being Ray Fillet. We didn't get into Hannibal Buress being Genghis Frog, which I don't know why they're only doing the one frog when there was like a complete foursome of them.
Save it for the sequel or the spinoff.
You got Natasha Demetriou from What We Do in the Shadows. She's voicing Wingnut, the human bat character, which stunt casting, I understand. Okay, bat character, vampire, yada yada. This is the one that I'm most surprised by, and I'm really curious where they want to go with the character. Rose Byrne as Leatherhead.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing like a gender swap on Leatherhead, which Leatherhead's pretty much been like a mainstay of the Turtles storylines for like the longest time. I remember in the original version, Leatherhead was just like, you know, a Creole gumbo slurping bayou boy who went on to go ahead and try to hunt them turtles down in them sewers. And then in later years and later seasons of the shows, it became like, you know, he was one of the first experiments working with the ooze. So he was more of like a slave who was being utilized for his mutant power. So the fact that you're now going with Rose Byrne voicing, it's intriguing. I don't know where they want to go with it. If it's going to be like he's friend or foe, because he's one of those characters that's actually played on both sides.
Right. He's Knuckles.
So I really want to see what they want to do with that. Everything else pretty much like kind of like either fits into like stunt casting, or it's like the perfect kind of casting for a version of the character that we have seen. But Rose Byrne is like the one that's really standing out to me.
Can I just change topics real quick?
Yeah.
Sure.
Look at Paul Rudd's eyes in this image.
I said it. That's why. That's the picture I was referring
to. So he's got tiny pupils. So what?
I don't think. Oh, there we go. Wow, that's creepy.
Didn't I say? I said he looks like a gecko on the IMDb.
Oh, dude. Find an editor on that. Frig, I will change. I will fix it for you. And I'm C grade at GIMP here.
Wait, is it
come
true?
on.
Wait, is we going with the true theory of there's lizard people in the world right now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, is this why he's ageless?
So.
Is this why he never ages? Because he always just sheds his skin?
Exactly. Eventually he'll solve crimes with his British wife in like Victorian England.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't even do Michelangelo, but when I let them know that Paul Rudd looks like a lizard person, they're looking at me like, and dude, then finally looks at the IMDb and they're like,
oh my God, that's creepy as hell, dude.
He looks like a lizard person. I'm like, I can't.
In other celebrity news, Paul Rudd recently came out and admitted the fact that, yes, he is in fact a lizard. As a lizard American, he found himself very proud to admit to his heritage and does not feel ashamed for the fact that he is a cold-blooded creature.
And put down that Davion basically said that on this show. Okay?
Yes, you can be the one that cracked the case.
By the way, what's with your accent now?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When asked for comment, Paul Rudd only wanted to talk about how we could save 15% on our car insurance.
Wait, I got a button for that here.
No, wait.
I remember JT having that soundboard.
I forgot about the soundboard. I really did.
I missed that so much.
Yeah. JT, I missed you, man.
We miss you. Don't run away from us no more.
All right, so aside from my constant rambling about the TMNT movie, does anyone else have any questions or any thoughts on there? Because mind you, this is just a teaser trailer. We haven't even gotten the trailer that's going to like really explain the storyline and what's going to happen in this film.
Man, just to be honest with you, it already gave us evidence that it's going to be a good film.
So you're sold already? You wouldn't need another trailer?
I wouldn't even think so. I think if they basically showed another trailer, they're pretty much going to spoil the movie.
Well, the movie comes out in August. They're going to have to put out another trailer.
Which, by the way, a teaser 5 months out, that's kind of quick, or kind of behind, isn't it?
No, not nowadays. Like, there are some movies that get like a trailer, the first trailer put out like 2 months prior. But considering this is going to be a movie that's going to be directed towards a younger audience, and it's going to be coming out on like the tail end of summer vacation, it's good to get the idea thinking about it now, so that this way, when it comes out, they'll be like the last hurrah for a lot of kids before they go back to school. What was that? What was that for?
Hated school. Because I was like that fat, dumpy kid that got beat on all the time. So,
oh god!
Well, you didn't play Ninja Turtles with anybody?
No, I played Ninja Turtles with myself.
No, JT, I can't. I saw where that was going.
I said it that way deliberately for the fun of it.
JT was like,
I will say this in all seriousness. When I did collect the 80s action figures, I used to set them up in my bedroom. And keep in mind, I was like 14 years old, so say that for what it is. But I used to have all of them in this gigantic collab en masse fight. Right. So everybody fought everybody, on this. And I put hours into this thing to make it look right, angle them, position them right so they're all balanced and everything like that. And then I trip over in the middle of the night and knock them all over. But no, that was the 80s Ninja Turtles was definitely my thing.
I'm gonna be honest, you'll be the coolest kid. I'll come over to your house and actually observe that.
Thank you, man.
It just took pictures of everything with the that old like zipper Polaroids, yeah.
You gotta wait 10 minutes for the image to come out.
Like basically, part of the reason I had this one friendship with a kid in school, his name was Chris Larson. He lived right by the school, and I would go over to his house just to be able to play with the Turtles figures that I didn't have.
Fair.
So I didn't want to say I was using him, but
no, you were.
You were using him.
Yeah, no.
He understood. He understood.
You know the deal,
dude. You're a kid. That's how kids work. You become friends with someone to basically inherit their toys to play with. You don't really care about them. You care about the stuff that you can do with them that they happen to have that you don't.
I remember one kid, and I was actually good friends with him, but I did used to borrow a lot of video games from him. Same. There may have been some that never got back. I'm pretty sure I have Ocarina of Time here somewhere that does not belong to me.
Don't get me started with that. I had this one PlayStation game that I got for my birthday as a kid, and I let my cousin borrow it. And I know if he's watching this, yes, I do remember. I never forgot. The game was all perfect. It was all perfect. The case, the disc, the manual. I get the game back, and it's in one of those flimsy covers, like the ones that they put in the disc, and they just like here in the manual. And I'm like, what happened to the case? It broke. I was like, how'd you break the case? Calm down. How you gonna tell me to calm down? It's my game that I got for my birthday. How I want to hold it, want to collect it and let it sit there and collect dust? And let me tell you what game it was. Wu-Tang Clan Shaolin style.
Ooh.
I think you made out better that it got broken.
Yeah.
No.
Mark, make my video.
No, the game was actually fire, to be honest with you.
I had a similar situation where I had a game called Albert Odyssey for the Sega Saturn. I played through it one time. Someone asked to borrow it. I got it back. It was literally split in two in the box.
Oof.
So he gave me the entire box back, the Saturn box back, and said, here's the game back. I was like, okay, fine. Look at it a couple of weeks later. It is split right down the middle, straight in two. I played that game once in my entire life, and I never played it again.
All right, fine. We'll get it for you for your birthday. Jesus.
Well, I can get an emulator to work on the laptop here. I might do it. But,
oh, yeah, even better. Okay, then I don't have to worry.
Yeah, but all right, gentlemen. Anything else?
No, nothing of consequence.
That's just my nostalgia meter has finally lowered into like normalcy.
You got it out of your system a little bit?
Little bit.
Okay,
And I was very impassioned when I saw this trailer this morning. I've been thinking about it all day. I've gotten it out of my system, and I am good to wait until the full trailer comes out. Probably, I imagine, within like the next month or so. I can't imagine what could be coming out that it would probably play up against, because that's probably going to be the idea that they're going to go ahead and have like
it's August, so in August it's usually when things are dying out. So probably, I don't know how many things are going to be then.
Well, no. I'm saying like the main full trailer will probably play within the next couple of months, depending on a movie that kids will want to go to, and it'll play up against that audience. I would want to say Shazam! Fury of the Gods, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Well, it's coming out this month.
Marvel has nothing coming out in August. That's all I've got. So
it probably also go up with another Paramount property.
Hi, Tyler. You came in on the tail end of the conversation.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. I noticed that March is now the highlights of the bigger films. The more
that's always kind of been the way it was. Everyone always waited until like summer vacation to like really put out the blockbusters, but then they realized, hey, there's like a mini smaller summer vacation during spring break and Easter and those times when schools are closed. So let's market towards that too.
And
I think.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I think it's more towards the fact that people's watching habits have changed now. So. Whereas before, like you put out 3 major blockbusters a year, or that one film which is the blockbuster. Now every year, every movie's a blockbuster because it's the only way to get people to go to the theaters.
It's so much more vicious amongst the studios than it ever has been, which is really interesting because there's a writer's strike coming that might screw everything up for a while. We'll have to see about that. Which, by the way, don't tell me I'm not nervous about, because trust me, I am.
For you, I would know is you're nervous, but it's like
I like my health insurance. I don't like to pay for Cobra.
I feel like a lot more people are watching YouTube for free as opposed to any of the pay for streaming services, because really there's not that much to really offer right now that you want to pay so much every month to keep these services going.
Well, it depends on your interests. I mean, thankfully, I would say of all the streaming things I use that I would have to pay for, I probably use Crunchyroll the most. You know, every season there's always like at least a few good titles that have like their weekly episodic releases. And Attack on Titan just started up again this weekend. So,
I hate that show.
You know,
whoa. You hate Attack on Titan?
Yes.
Why?
Season 1 ruined it for me.
What?
So you haven't liked it since season 1?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Let me. The supposed winner of our anime Jeopardy. What was it about season 1 that you didn't like?
It was too drawn out. Like it was like no shocking reveal. It didn't get to the point until it was like get to the point, and then you find later on, like throughout the other seasons, you're starting to realize that most of the people that's in the army are Titans.
Yes, it's called playing the long game.
No,
just get to the point. That's my thing. Sure.
I think they didn't know where they were going with that series. It started off as, hey, let's put instead of doing zombies, let's do giant monsters. And the giant monsters are going to kill a lot of people. Now what? Well, we have to have the hero come in somehow. Well, the hero's a Titan too. He can fight back. Oh, all of them are Titans now. They all fight back. And then it went from a entire show about zombie giants to war. Just war. The entire show is about this is what happens to people in war. It's like, I respect you, but you must die now. And just decimate an entire city.
What pissed me off about it, assuming you're still talking about Attack on Titan. Sorry, I had to
yes.
Yeah, the problem that was when it came out 2 years ago, it's like the final season. And they would do 10 episodes. The next part of the final season comes out next year. Wait a year. And then basically now we're on part 3 of 4 parts of the final season, for Attack on Titan, which I already read the manga, so I don't know how it ends. But
we're on season 4 of a show that started 14 years ago.
Yes, thank you.
Animation takes a while. And they usually, especially when it comes to anime, because anime always... unless it's like an original animated story, they always have to rely on where the manga is in its storytelling. They don't want to put the cart before the horse. They don't want to do what was it? George S.S. Martin thing with Game of Thrones.
Well, it goes back and forth. I mean, with Dragon Ball, they used to have the fillers with Trigun, which is the most interesting. They did the animation the same time the manga was being written. And then they caught up to the manga and went, crap, we have to figure out how to end this 24-season show, and came up with a totally different ending to how the manga went.
Yeah.
I still need to read the manga because I know it's completely different than the TV show.
No, Attention did that. Pretty much all the anime have done that at one time.
Big O's ending was all kind of...
One Piece had to add some filler in there too for a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did watch some of the Netflix anime. The Record of Ragnarok season 2 was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but again, that's a show where it took practically 2 years for the next set to come through. And you want to talk about stretching things out. How can you yell about season 1 of Attack on Titan stretching out when here we have this whole series that's based on these competitions, these matches, and every match is like 4 episodes long, like a Dragon Ball Z thing.
Dragon Ball Z never had battles that only lasted 4 episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the time, though,
an underling, that's a little different.
Think about this. This was 25 years ago when Dragon Ball came out, and you did have these battles that would last episode after episode. This is around a time when we were watching TV shows where the villain would be introduced that episode. They would fight for 5 minutes. They would get defeated, and then everything would move on, and then we'll repeat next week and next week and next week. Dragon Ball is the first time I saw a villain like Frieza go up against the main characters, beat their asses consistently, and then get to the main hero where it's like, well, the hero's gonna beat him now, and he consistently got destroyed for like 40 episodes before he got the upper hand. And then you're watching this every day, every week for 3 to 4 months. Yeah, that's why someone like me's in the Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
But according to
Dave, you're making fun of.
To the point.
Yeah.
Longest 5 minutes ever.
Yeah.
It's great when you're a kid and you've never seen it before. But but you go into My Hero Academia and it's like now it's old hat.
Hero too. I am a hero too.
I'm reading the manga for My Hero Academia, and sorry to totally go off topic, but I caught up on 4 years of the manga, got to what I thought is at the end, and they only have a few more chapters left. I stopped reading for another 3 to 4 months, thought I was coming back to find out what happened, and no, they're still not done. They're in the final battle, and it's still going on 10, 15 chapters later.
Well, that's the beauty of manga. They have the leniency of being able to put out the manga pretty much whenever they feel like it.
Yeah.
Whereas the anime is always on more of a crunch time, and the animators have to go through hell to get things done on time.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like a disconnect between the book and the source material and the multimedia facet, which is only really put out there for a lot of animes to sell the manga.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as they're concerned, it doesn't really matter how the anime ends.
I don't know. When's the time limit for this show? Not that I'm a producer.
Honestly,
you're waiting to see whether, and I was like, okay, we have 15 more minutes. Let me go into my diatribe on this.
Because the host of the show is like typing up stuff.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. I actually was working on something else.
Yes.
But no, in this case, yeah, we probably could wrap it up. But for the Spanglish side of it, or Zingo side of it, I got to trim it down to 50 to 55 minutes, and I know where the breaks are, so I'll be able to do it pretty easy. But this
whole anime conversation is getting cut. We know that.
This is the bonus.
Well, see, now actually, I may as well mention this. This is going to actually be put up on the playlist. Or, I'm sorry, the podcast part of YouTube now too, which they've created. So tonight I'm going to extract out the video, throw up the audio only, clean up the audio a little bit on the back end, and then just upload it with the same stuff. And I don't know what's going to happen. I've never used it before. I'm kind of curious to see if it gets any hits or how that works. I haven't the foggiest idea, but it's not hurting us any. It's not costing us anything. So screw it. I'm throwing it up there. So
doing it live. So if you happen to be a podcast listener, we did do this live, 8:30 Eastern Central Time on YouTube. You can always find us there if you want to watch it at that time rather than waiting until listening to it.
Exactly. So
yeah, is that how we're going to put it? Okay.
I don't know. I'm making it up as I go along. So,
okay, good.
But there you go. Thank you. All right, gentlemen. I think we're good at this point.
JT.
So, JT, missed you, man. Thank you for being awesome.
Yes.
Anytime. Dave, thank you for being, awesome also. And Ryan, thank you for being excited and awesome. You are clearly jonesed about this. That is a good thing. I'm digging the jonesing. When the new trailer comes out, I fully expect we're going to be revisiting that level of enthusiasm at that point. And then the movie's going to come out, suck ass. You're like, I hate all this.
And I can't do Michelangelo's voice because I am banned from doing it, ladies and gentlemen.
Cultural appropriation.
You know what? Jay, go for it. Give me your best. Hit me with your best shot.
I don't even think I'm ready for it.
Okay. That's fine. Cool. So that was his impersonation, by the way, of
No, it wasn't. It was not my impersonation.
Wow.
That is from the new Seth Rogan stoned version, by the way, of Michelangelo.
No, it's not. Stop.
Emotional, damn it.
I hate you.
So, all right, folks. Thanks as always. I appreciate it. Thank you, JT. Thank you, Day. Thank you, Ryan. You guys are awesome. Take care. Have a great night and be awesome yourselves. Take care.
Cowabunga!